In Brooklyn, it was a man shot in the head on a train. Check it out.
All of this happening after police say a fight broke out on board an
Let me
A
go
train
lock
in
my
Brooklyn
door.
just before the start of today's afternoon rush.
All right, this latest act of shocking subway violence coming just a week after Governor Hochul deployed the National Guard and state police into stations. Fox 5's Kendall Green live in downtown Brooklyn with the latest tonight. Kendall.
Hey, good evening, Steve Natasha. Police are calling the 36-year-old the aggressor and the victim after he displayed multiple weapons during a fight. And apparently that fight led to him being shot by his own gun, according to police. A rush hour shooting in the subway, the latest example of violence leaving commuters horrified Thursday.
Two men were fighting and a guy in a yellow jacket shot the other guy and he just went down.
Police say the shooting happened around 4:45, just moments before a northbound A train pulled into the Skimmerhorn and Hoyt subway station in downtown Brooklyn. This witness was trapped on that train car just feet away from the shots.
A guy come in the train and he started arguing with another guy. All I know, they start fighting and he pulled out a gun and shot somebody.
Police say witnesses tell them the 36-year-old man who was shot was aggressive and provocative and confronted a 32-year-old man on the train.
The 36-year-old at one point displayed either a knife or a razor blade toward the 32-year-old.
That triggered even more fighting between the men.
During this physical confrontation, that gun, we believe, was removed from the 36-year-old by the 32-year-old, and the 32-year-old fired multiple shots, striking the 36-year-old.
Multiple police officers already at the station heard several gunshots. MTA officials clearly frustrated.
When you bring a gun on the train and you start a fight, it's not right.
Terrified commuters had to duck for cover as those shots rang out.
People were anxious because there was nowhere to run. On one side were NYPD covering the stairs, and then the other side was the tunnel and the train tracks. So there was nowhere to go. People were becoming frantic.
I don't know what to say. It's like scary.
Do you take the subway?
All the time, right there. I live on the next block.
Now, that 32-year-old is here at the transit precinct inside the subway station. He's being questioned by detectives. So far, it remains unclear if he's going to face any charges. That's later.
So, let's put this in perspective because I've been keeping y'all up to date of what's happening in New York and the subways in general, right? And they've deployed the National Guard and additional police officers into the subway system. And people are still getting knifed and killed and shot on the subway in New York. They got the National Guard there. And remember when I played the video and they was getting the sentiment of the people as far as how they felt about the National Guard being there, and it was like, oh no, it's overkill. It's the perception of it's dangerous and stuff. Okay, now what? Shout out to Leslie Aaron listening at 35,000 feet. Where you going, girl? They have the National Guard. You're not getting away. The National Guard, spot checking, making sure the people is there that's supposed to be there and all of that, right? And y'all still out there wilding out in New York City. All of the cameras, National Guard, technology, and all of that. Man, y'all wild. Y'all some wild boys over there. Some wild boys. All right, in addition to that, the Metro bus murderer. I think this is over in St. Louis, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll find out. Do you know that this guy, they say that he was the murderer because somebody looked at him wrong? Y'all got to be wary of these dudes that got purple lips and one eye is bigger than the other one, y'all.
Tonight, we are learning more about the innocent people murdered while riding a Metro bus in North County.
The suspect we know is behind bars tonight, but with his long rap sheet, loved ones are now asking why he was out on the street.
What's up,
Alexis
Carrie?
Odos digs into his past and hears from family of one of the victims tonight. Alexis?
Corey Sam, the suspect, Anthony Frazier, is being held without bond tonight, but he currently has several open cases awaiting trial, spanning from St. Louis County to St. Charles County to Franklin County.
I want the world to know that Jaron was full of love.
34-year-old Jaron Jackson Craig was leaving work when he was shot and killed while riding a Metro bus Monday afternoon.
He was on his way home. Going to work, it took 3 buses to get to work.
He lived with his grandmother in Olivet.
He brought coffee up that morning. And he said, Grandma, I'm getting ready to go. And he hugged me. He said, I'll see you this evening. And that was the last I heard of him.
Around 2:30 Monday, investigators say this man, Anthony Frazier, while in a stolen car, stopped in front of a Metro bus in Berkeley. According to police, he started firing shots into the bus.
They said he was on the right in the back, and the bullet that hit him was the one that ricocheted, came through the window.
We're told Frazier then got onto the bus and shot the second victim, Jorge Andres Cantor Pinzon.
He had seen the victim earlier and felt like he had disrespected him by staring at him the wrong way, and unfortunately, tragically decided to use a weapon instead of moving on about his day.
Let's stop there for a second. He was driving in a stolen car. He stops in front of the bus. He started going up in there and he hitting people. And it all started because apparently he had an interaction where he felt like somebody ice grilled him or looked at him the wrong way. Listen. Y'all, do y'all hear what I'm saying? Are y'all hearing the words that's coming out of my mouth? He looked at him the wrong way. And y'all be sitting here thinking I'm crazy because I'm a person that likes to avoid confrontation, or I'm okay with saying, oh man, my bad, you all right? You good? Even if I don't feel like it's my fault. Or I look over there and I see a bunch of people over there that I don't think that looks savory. And then I use my context clues and I say, you know what? I'm not even going to go over in that direction. He looked at him the wrong way. Now you got innocent people that was riding the bus to get home from work, and they never get back to their grandmothers or their family or anything like that. Just take a whole life. You have lived your whole life, and the sum total of it was because somebody looked at you wrong. They ain't say nothing wrong. They ain't do nothing wrong. They didn't hit you. They didn't do none of that. And y'all be out here talking tough, talking about, yeah, man, I wish a dude would disrespect me. I gotta stand up. Look, for me personally, and I understand that everybody look at life differently, I want to get home. I want to go home to my family. I want to go home to my family. I'm never, ever, ever going to see you again. I just don't have enough ego. I don't have enough ego to just be tough like that. I don't. I want to get to my daughter. I want to get to my chick. I want to get to my family. I would like to come and talk to y'all on the Millionaire Morning Show. Y'all got me scared to even look at somebody now. Be like, I'm Stevie Wonder. I'm Stevie Wonder out in these streets. I looked at you wrong? And that caused you to take my life and take other people's life and hit people on the bus? It's crazy.
But the big question is, why was Frazier out on the street in the first place? Right now, he has active warrants for ongoing criminal theft cases, from St. Peter's to Sunset Hills to Frontenac to Chesterfield to Town and Country, with multiple court documents calling him a danger to the community.
It shouldn't have been out, period.
First Alert 4 found Frazier's criminal history dates back to 2006. Repeatedly, he received shortened sentences, probation, or drug treatment programs from various judges.
This was a heinous and vile act. It is something that is very discouraging, not only for our mode of transportation, but our entire region.
So the Major Case Squad was actually able to solve this case within less than 24 hours, and they credit that in large part to the surveillance video that captured the suspect on that Metro bus. Metro security saying that robust camera system across their buses and trains is a large part of their way of keeping the community safe.
But here's the thing. We can throw in all of the cameras and stuff that you want, but it doesn't prevent people from culturally crashing out. And then the system continues to let them out. And then we got to deal with the foolishness because a guy with a crooked eye decided that he wanted to take your life because you was looking wrong. Also, new details in the murder of Mahogany Jackson.
Tonight, new details in the death of Mahogany Jackson. 6 of the 8 suspects in court today. Thank you so much for joining us here at 6. I'm Brittany Decker.
I'm Guy Rawlings. We've been following the Mahogany Jackson case. WVTM 13's Aaron Llewellyn, live and local in Birmingham tonight outside the Jefferson County Courthouse. A lot of the details too gruesome to talk about, Aaron.
Yeah, Guy, Brittany, the hearing today lasted for about 3 hours, and the legal teams went through the details of what led up to Mahogany Jackson's death and even uncovered some new details about her final moments, and some of it was too unbearable for her family to hear. Now, today we know that the defense attorneys claim that Jackson was at one of the suspects' house, Brandon Pope, and questioned him about a gun that she says was stolen and money that was also stolen from her purse at some point throughout the day. She even made him strip to prove he didn't have it. Now, Pope told Harris to do something to her because she made him strip. Now, the detectives working the case say Jackson was assaulted multiple times throughout the time she was being held against her will. Now, both Jackson and some of the suspects' families were in the courtroom today for the detailed hearing, some of it becoming emotional. Now, District Attorney Danny Carr says her family might be disappointed some of the charges were reduced or thrown out, but they are one step closer to justice.
They understand the circumstances, but they also appreciate what we have in front of us, and they understand that this is a marathon and not a sprint. There's still a lot of work ahead of us, and we'll be there with them every step of the way and make sure that there's accountability.
Now, later in the day before Jackson died, she was put in Harris's car, and he, Pope, and McDowell took her to clean Harris's car out. Even though the defense claims Harris said they were taking her back to her house, that's when Harris is accused of pulling the trigger and shooting Jackson in the back of the head. Now, District Attorney Danny Carr calls this one of the most gruesome murders he's ever seen.
Look at these monsters. Do y'all see them? A lot of y'all may not be familiar with what happened to Mahogany Jackson. So let me bring you guys up to date, because I just want to make sure that y'all understand what we're dealing with here. That's all I want to do. I just want to make sure that you're familiar with what's going on. They say she knew she was going to die, and she was tortured over a stolen gun, abducted and tortured over a stolen gun. Here's some of the details of what they're saying. And it was recorded. Shot in the back of the head. We already know that, right? She was a 20-year-old mother of a 3-year-old daughter. Physical and sexual attacks, mostly recorded. And it was so gruesome, and she knew that she was going to die, that she basically used the bathroom on herself and had a bowel movement on the floor before it happened. She was ordered to shower, but they say that she knew what was about to happen to her, and that's why she did it. 8 suspects charged, ranging from 26 all the way down to 18. All right. Pistol whipped her. This is just bad, bro. The suspects discovered by looking at her phone that she had messaged family members saying she was being held hostage and sent the location. That's when the shooter said she ain't going nowhere. Judge found probable cause to send a capital murder here during the kidnapping charge. It's just so bad, bro. It's so bad. Basically put her in the back of the car, shot her in the head, and apparently they had physically had been assaulting her during the time that she was kidnapped. This is insane, bro. At some point, the attacks on Jackson, one of the videos taken outside Pope's house showed Lewis and McCall stomping and spitting on her. At one point, Lewis was straddling Jackson while punching her in the head. Throughout the assault at Pope's house, Jackson was stripped, kicked, punched, spat on, and dragged by her hair to a vehicle. McCall was seen on the video yelling for somebody to pop the trunk. Then they was moved to the Serenity Apartments where Lewis and McCall were roommates. 4 more videos were recorded there. Jackson was then shown being forced to perform oral sex on one of the defendants. On Blair Green, Lewis, and McCall. And they were holding her at gunpoint, forcing her to do the act. Oh my God. Lewis was holding the back of Jackson's head, and McCall was holding the gun and recording the assault. The detective testified Wednesday that Jackson was told to hurry up because she had another one to perform on. He said one of the suspects pulled down her pants and tried to have one of them rape her because she was in handcuffs. He said he was also present and urging on the sexual assault, saying Jackson better do it right. Green said he received several new videos on Wednesday, just hours before the hearing. One of them showed Jackson in handcuffs being forced in the bathroom at gunpoint, told to clean herself up. That was when she apparently defecated on herself. As everyone was preparing to leave the apartment, Green said McCall and Lewis said to Jackson, well, she's not leaving here. When Jackson was taken from the apartment, she was with Harris, Pope, and McDowell. Pope told the police he was driving Harris's Chevy Malibu and was told they were going to Dead Man's Road to clean trash out of Harris's car before taking her home. Both Pope and McDowell said they, including Jackson, were cleaning trash out of Harris's vehicle when Harris walked up behind Jackson and shot her in the back of the head. Green said when Jackson's body was found, she was near Woods Line with the gunshot to the back of her head, bleeding on a rock. 2 mattresses had been placed on top of her. Jesus Christ. Good God. Unreal, bro. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Since I've been in this office, I've had some, yes. Some of y'all may be, I was young too at the time, but the Thanksgiving homicide at the Airport Inn Hotel where 3 people were brutally murdered in the Airport Inn Hotel on Thanksgiving morning. I actually handled that case and tried it myself. That was a very brutal case. This one, unlike that one, the brutality kind of played itself out in real time because it's video. There's a video involved.
Now, this case is still being investigated, so new details could emerge in the coming days. And the things that are still being investigated are rape kits and ballistic results. Now, the 2 other suspects in this case are expected to be back in court for the same hearing on Monday. For now,
I don't even know why we locking these people up. Realistically, I have no clue why we even locking these people up. There are no words for how evil people are. And these people are all in their teens and their early 20s. In their teens and early 20s. Kyra Netta says, may she rest in peace and get justice. Ain't no justice in this. Is no way they'll really ever be able to get justice from this. It's no justice. What? Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to keep y'all aware of what's happening out here. Ladies, it's not safe out here. This ain't no place for women to just be out here roaming around talking about they boss chicks. It's not safe. I'm telling you, it's not safe out here.